How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the Hystria guide for console. Now today I'm going to be telling you guys your minimum requirements for being in Hystria. However, if you want an overview of the exact skill points and skills you need to unlock, you also want to have an in-depth look at elixirs and extra elixirs that I don't currently have on me that I would recommend for Hystria, and how to access Hystria as well. That information will be in my Arkman's guide. So if you just roll back to the Arkman's guide, you'll see me talk about all these topics and show you guys how to get into a portal. Portals can obviously take you to Arkman's or Hystria. If you want to come through the way I did, just look up on YouTube BDO Hystria guide, and that will show you guys what you need to do to complete the quest to be able to hand in a claw and come in here automatically. But in terms of minimum requirements to be in Hystria, you will need to be at least 61 for Hystria. You can test it at 60, but I wouldn't recommend grinding it at 60. If you just want to jump in and have a look around, you can come at 60, but wait to 61 till you actually start grinding it properly. And obviously when you hit 62, things will get a bit easier as well. In terms of AP, DP, the closest I can get to the AP I'm going to recommend is 251, 253. However, the actual AP that you can come in here is a 249 bracket with Tech Kudum. You'll need at least 301 DP in my opinion for Hystria, just in case something goes wrong. You can still come in here as little as 290 DP as a wizard, but you are going to die a bunch at the beginning until you really get into the groove of pulling the mobs. Because when it comes to pulling the mobs, honestly, wizard is the easiest class that I've seen so far for clearing these Hystria mobs. But I'll show you guys what it looks like with 251, 253 and what the skill rotation would be. Just to quickly, elixirs I'm going to be using is Draining, Assassination, Concentration and Frenzy. And finally, I will be popping a Villa buff in a moment, and I have got double XP running, which isn't that relevant to be honest. But obviously we also have a Destruction Stone. Now I'm really going to take the time to show off the different rooms and how to pull them, because this is very, very important in Hystria. So if you do come in here with a portal, just press escape, that'll take you to the node manager. I will first show you what is known as side rotation and main rotation. And we'll take a right just over here and go through that hole. So you can see there's three different ways. You can go left, you can go straight, or you can go through this little hole to the right. We're going to come this way. There is a safe spot as well. So the safe spot is just up here. And once you've got all your buffs popped, we can start clearing side rotation. We will start at this end over here. You want to grab these guys like so. Get behind this Elton, place your lighthouse down, a lava field. You're going to do a boiled destruction into Cataclysm, into Aquagel. You're going to slide behind the mobs, Hellfire, into multiple magic arrow, fireball explosion, water sphere, back into Aquagel and multiple magic arrow, and that will clear the mobs. As you can see, for the AP that we have, that was a really fast clear. So then you come up to this mob over here. You get on this side of the Elton and you chain lightning behind you, then in front of you. Then you come back behind you, place your lighthouse, lava field, board destruction, Cataclysm, Aquagel, Hellfire, multi-magic arrow, Sage's Memory, fireball explosion, water sphere with the flow. Again, back into Aquagel, back into Cataclysm, and then Hellfire. If you needed to, you do absolute magic arrow and stage fire to finish them off as well. The reason I'm taking so much damage because I don't have pots on at the minute, and it's also nighttime. So for the next cross over here, you want to teleport to this Elton. Sorry, I didn't mean to dash. You're going to get your left side and then get your right side to come in. You dash backwards, then you dash to this side of the mob. Place your lighthouse, place your lava field, which I got CC'd out of. Again, build destruction, Cataclysm, Aquagel, springboard behind them. Do your Hellfire, multi-magic arrow, Sage Rage, absolute explosion, water sphere, aqua bomb flow into Aquagel and into Cataclysm, and it should all be dead. And as you can see, I'm 251, 253, which is very close to the recommended AP that I gave you guys earlier. And then you come down here, you chain lightning these guys, you bring them back behind this Turk, you place your lighthouse down, board destruction. You can dash backwards as well, and I got CC'd out of it, but right there's going to be a lava field to be placed down. But you'll do your combos, then you'll get behind him and finish off. If you get CC'd, just take off to wherever you left in the combo. There is no rush. You've got plenty of time for the groups to mob up. And obviously, if they're doing too much damage, you don't have to do so. What I normally do is I tank with board destruction, tank with cataclysm, and tank with aquagel to group them up and then get behind them. You can cut that short if you feel like you're taking too much damage and you can't super armor you can't take their damage for 3 super armor moves. You can cut it to a board destruction cataclysm and then roll up behind them, and then from behind do your aquagel. That definitely works as well if your DP is a bit lower. But then you come to this guard tower over here, you'll chain lightning, you do a couple steps this way, see if you can grab any mobs over here. Then you come back behind this vodka that's down here, you place magical lighthouse, and then rinse and repeat, board destruction, cataclysm, aquagel. Obviously you can start with lava field as well, which will help do some more DPS. Then into hellfire and your pre-awakening combo, back into the ward sphere, back into the aquagel, and they should all pretty much be dead if they took full damage. If not, then whatever moves you see fit to finish them off like that. And finally, we're going to come over here, grab some guys over here, dash to the right, pick up these 3, dash to the left, well, to the right still if you're looking that way. Grab these guys, be on this side, place your lighthouse down, into board destruction, into cataclysm, into aquagel, and into hellfire with absolute magical arrow, sage's rage, absolute fireball explosion, water sphere in the flow, back into aquagel, and then whatever you see fit to kill them after that. But they should pretty much be dead. So you've got a really strong clear as a wizard in this low AP, and because of your magical lighthouse you can do a lot of work. But now we're going to leave these mobs, so that is side rotation. You're back to the beginning of side rotation over here, so obviously you just rinse and repeat. If you wanted to, you'd grab these guys, you'd make sure to aggro that Kalkisha down below. You'd be standing somewhere around here behind the Kalkisha and the Elton that would normally be closer to you. You place the magical lighthouse down and rinse and repeat the rotation as we showed you earlier. That's side rotation, and now we'll show you main rotation. So there is a safe spot in main rotation, which is just up here. Okay, so for this rotation over here, you want to stand right here on the edge in your pre-awakening. You grab those guys over there and those guys over there. You'll bring them down to this Elton. You'll slide behind the Elton, place the lighthouse down, lava field against the wall, board destruction, cataclysm, aquagel, hellfire, absolute magic arrow, sage, fireball explosion, water sphere in the flow, and into aquagel again, and then finish them off with whatever you see fit. I just finished them off with a MMA there, multiple magic arrow. And then from that mob, we're going to come over here, we're going to grab these guys, we're going to grab that guy over there, bring him behind this Turk, place the lava field, place the orb, destruction, cataclysm, jail, springboard behind, make sure you get the vodka as well, hellfire, MMA, sage, explosion, water sphere, flow, back into jail, and cataclysm or multiple magic arrow, or both if you have to. You can even use basic attacks if they're really low to finish them off. And then we go into this room over here on our left. Once we get into this room, you want to stand right here in the corner over here. Make sure you aggro as many mobs as you can, and then you're going to slide behind this guy over here, place your multiple magic arrow, magical lighthouse down, do destruction, cataclysm, jail, springboard behind, hellfire. If you forget your lava field, place that down at any point. MMA, sages, explosion, water sphere, flow, and back into jail, and then whatever you see fit to finish them off there. I use the MMA in that situation, but you're more than welcome to use cataclysm or any other move. So next part here, we're actually going to aggro these two as well. Sorry, I almost forgot. We're not going to be able to aggro them. I forget this is main rotation. Alright, so whatever comes out of the other room and the first section that we aggroed over here, we're going to grab and clear this way. Again, always put your lighthouse near the Elton. The Elton's got range, so he won't move around too much to come to you. So you got to take everything to the Elton. And then once you clear these guys over here, that's when you're going to teleport in. Make sure you grab these ones here, grab those ones there, bring them down to this corner, lighthouse, field against the wall, and do a destruction, cataclysm, jail, springboard behind, hellfire, MMA, fireball, explosion, water sphere, flow into either cataclysm, hellfire, aquagel, MMA, whatever you feel fit after that to finish them off is what you're going to need. And then once those guys are cleared out, now with the extended rotation, it's going to be slightly different. The unextended rotation is this one here. You're going to teleport to this Turk over here, chain lightning everything, get on one side of the Turk, the left side of the Turk, do the rotation that we talked about. And once you cleared these guys up, you would TP to this mob over here. You'll do a water sphere on that side. You'll chain lightning this side. Get behind the Turk. Again, put the lighthouse down. So we got CC'd out of it there. You need to be a bit more careful when you get CC'd out of the lighthouse because you're not going to be able to do maximum back attack damage and they're going to be hitting you a lot more often. So try and get back attacks where you can. But as you can see here, I'm getting shredded. Oh, I actually died. So as you can see here, they could definitely kill you if you don't do it right. And unfortunately, we lost an adamantium crystal there. So that's why you want your fairies active, for that not to happen. And in that situation like that, I would recommend just moving around a lot more than what I did there. But we will start again and make sure to kill him here. Now, one important thing to note is if you do die, obviously one, make sure you use a tier. I use the fairy tier there to get back up. And number two, you're going to have to repop all your elixirs. So now I'm going to show you the extended version. You're not going to need to do this with the current AP, but once you start getting to 261 Kudum, it is possible you might need to add the extended rotation in. Especially when you get to my AP, you'll definitely need the extended rotation, which is the 269 bracket. And just don't forget, I'm not doing it, but E-buff on cooldown. Make sure you're E-buffing on cooldown. And also you want to be locking your rage and not ulting. So let's lock our rage here. Repop all our buffs. And sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And we will show you the extended rotation this time. So extended rotation, you're going to come down here, you're going to grab this little corner, clear it out. You just want to literally come into this little triangular corner over here and do your rotation. Again, whatever moves you see fit to finish them off. And now that that's done, you'd then come up here, you'd clear this mob, and then you'd be back at the beginning there to clear that mob over there. So that was main and side rotation over there. So now I will show you guys 5 Elton rotation. This is a very greedy rotation, and I would only recommend doing it if you're on a quiet server where people aren't looking to farm. So 5 Elton is going to combine both of main and side rotation together. There's 2 Eltons in main rotation, 3 Eltons in side rotation. That's why it's called the 5 Elton rotation. You would do this one to maximize the Elton kill, to try and get the Elton compass pass, or to try and maximize your chances of getting tongue grad necklaces. So we'll start off in the side section over here. We will kill this Elton to start with, and then I'll show you guys what we'll do after that. Again, just do your rotation. Make sure you springboard behind the Vodkan before you get into pre-awakening rotation, and then bring it back and use whatever skills you see fit to finish them off. Make sure you grab all the loot, and then we'll get into our next part over here. So we're going to grab the back ones, we're going to grab the front ones, get back behind the turret again, and then continue to clear. If you get the rotation perfect, they should be dead right about now. Any ones that didn't get the full force will survive for a few more attacks. This one, remember, you come into this Elton, you're grabbing the left side, you're grabbing the right side, stance switch, slide to the left, do your field, do your magical lighthouse, destruction cataclysm, aquagel, hellfire, MMA, fireball explosion, and aquagel again to finish them off. And now that we've killed those guys, we're actually going to go back into main rotation now. So if you start switching them, you should grab their aggro, you start switch back, chain lightning those guys, bring them back behind the Turk, place all your pools and lighthouses down. These guys will get nice and grouped up, come up behind them, get into your pre-awakening rotation. And take them out, and then we're going to come to this Elton in the corner. I was meant to be a bit further to the right over here, so I'm just going to slide over, make sure I get all the mobs on both sides. Don't forget to be popping your rage on cooldown. I'm just going to slide behind the mobs there, and now I'm going to go into Hellfire, Aquagel. Like I said, you can mix it up. It's nighttime. I don't want to take too much damage, so I made sure to get behind them, do my rotation, and finish them off. Now, instead of going that way like we did last time, we're going to swing left over here. So this is when you're going to grab these guys at top and then bring them all back to this Elton over here. Do your lighthouse and your lava field against the wall, and do your super armor rotation with your springboard. Then once you're behind them, pre-awakening rotation, water sphere, and use whatever abilities that you need to finish them off. We didn't get all back attacks on the Elton there, so that's why he survived a bit longer than normal. So now this is the trick over here. We're going to teleport to this side. We're going to grab these mobs and then come down here, grab all these mobs. Usually you do get this one. Unfortunately, we didn't this time. So I'm going to place my lighthouse on this side, but normally you'd place it on the other side of the Elton. But since I've got them grouped up this way, I've manipulated the mobs in a certain way. If you mess up the pool, just manipulate the mobs like I did there and get your lighthouse on one side of them. And then once those guys are cleared, we're going to come down over here, grab everything, bring him behind this Turk. We'll put our lava field down in this corner. Again, do our rotation. And get behind them, do the pre-awakening rotation with the flow, and finish them off however you see fit again. Now that they're done over here, we will go back to the beginning of the rotation, and you will rinse and repeat, and that is the 5 Elton rotation. So now to show you the other ones that are the new rotations that got released on PC not too long ago, that came out with the Xbox as soon as we got Hystria. I'll show you guys that in just a minute after we escape. So from here on out, I'm going to go back to my regular AP to show you what you guys what that looks like. So from this node manager, we are now going to go down the hill and take a left. Once you get past that gate, if you look around here, there's a hole in the wall. right next to this gear on the ground. Look for these landmarks. We're going to go into this hole. So once you're fully buffed, I've got a few guys following me here. We'll start this rotation in this corner. You can start the rotation wherever you like. Make sure you grab all the mobs, come up by this watchtower here, place your lighthouse down, your field, do your rotation. And nice and easy. So with this one here, you're going to grab the Kalkisha. There's two different ways to pull these mobs. So this is one way of pulling it, and we'll show you the extended version on the next go around. So make sure you grab all the mobs, even the little testicle at the very top. You place your debuffs down, do your rotation. So the trick for this next pull is just walk up to here, double teleport towards these tankers, and make sure you hit them with the chain lightning to get their aggro. Then aggro everything else you can, and then slip behind the tankers, place your lighthouse down, do your rotation, E-buff on cooldown. Once you do your rotation, just get behind them and finish them off. And then once those guys are cleared and you've picked up all the trash, just teleport, make sure both these Kalkishas stand up. Come over here, make sure you hit the Kalkisha and two testicles with the chain lightning. Then you want to come up behind the Turk, or the two-car, sorry. Place your stuff down and get your rotation done. Then once that's done, we're going to come to the double Elton spot. So over here, if you got your rage, I'd recommend raging and e-buffing here when you do have it. But we will do our regular rotation here. I'm not placing my lava field down because there's no good spot to place it, and I don't want to dash backwards to hit the mobs. But where you can place the lava field, make sure you do. The extra damage is nice. And once we grabbed all the loot from these guys, we'll come over here. Do the rotation on these guys over here. And then we're going to be back to the beginning of the rotation. So now I'm going to show you the extended version. So normally if you clear too fast, which we do, but obviously because I'm showing you guys how to do Hystria, we didn't clear, I had to slow it down a little bit. But when you clear a bit too fast, what you'll do after these guys here is split the next pool into two. And the way you split that next pool into two, unfortunately we didn't get all the Kalkisha there. When you don't get all back attack damage, it takes a bit longer to kill, but just make sure you finish them off. So we're going to drag that side of the mob towards here. Then we're going to come grab these four Turks down here, the testicles down here, and bring it up to the Elton. It's very important that you bring everything to this side of the Elton, because reason being, those Turks that we aggroed can't aggro too far west, or they'll go back. This is really the edge of the aggro range. That's why you want to make sure to get everything on this side of the Elton and get the lighthouse as close to the Elton as possible. Then after that, now we're going to come over here and we're going to clear all the mobs in this section. So bring them behind this Kalkisha towards the tower. Do your super armor rotation, make sure they're nice and grouped up. Then get behind them. Since I've got some space, I'll place the lava field down. Finish them off over there. Make sure you grab all the loot. Then come grab these guys over here. And make sure to do your rotation on these dudes. E-buff off cooldown. rage in either the appropriate spot that I showed you earlier or on cooldown, depending how you prefer to do it. But this, I don't really know the name of this rotation, but let's just call this new rotation, I guess. This is a very nice rotation I like to chill in as well. But now I'm going to show you guys the black shard rotation, where there is a lot of Kalkishas and a high chance of getting black shards, which is just off this room over here. Okay, and this is the black shard rotation just over here. So we're going to come down, make sure you hit these testicles over here, the D-moles, and then bring them into this corner over here. Place your lighthouse, place your lava pit down, and do your rotation. And once you do your rotation and clear this mob over here, there's a little trick with your teleport to maximize clearing. Get relatively close to the Elton, double TP in, grab as many mobs as this side as possible, and as you see here, this one didn't aggro, right? So you place your lighthouse towards the D-mole to the left. It should normally aggro to the lighthouse. It didn't this time, and I honestly don't know why. It's a bit weird. But normally that guy aggro, oh, so he's a bit late in aggroing there. But we got him up anyway. Make sure you kill all the mobs here. And then once they're dead, grab these guys, make sure they're following you. And chain lightning up there. If you've done it properly, you should be able to grab all the Kalkishas in the section. But you have to pull that properly to be able to do this part. Just make sure you do your E-buff on cooldown. And then clear these guys like so. And then finally, you want to teleport to this side over here, chain lightning the mobs, bring them back behind the Elton, place the lighthouse down, place the flames down to your left, do your rotation, get behind them, get your pre-awakening rotation done. And then once they're all dead, we'll come down here. So since we're one of those D-moles aggroed over there, we're going to grab these guys and bring it behind the D-mole, because the D-mole can't aggro too far in the direction that we were going. So we'll bring them to this guy and then get behind them and make sure we kill him like so. And once you've cleared those guys, so that's the regular rotation. If you do need to extend it, you're going to come up here. So to extend the rotation, you'll come this way, and you would actually have to grab these two Kalkishas up there, bring them all behind this 2-car, and get your rotation done again. And then to really extend it, so this should be enough, but once you get to that 269 bracket, that moment, if I get one more AP, I'll definitely have to do this every time. Right now it's debatable. They are just about respawning normally when I clear at full speed after this mob, but if you do need it, you can extend it further. Just double TP up here, grab that Kalkisha up there, grab as many 2-cars from here as you can, get behind this Elton, put your ball in the corner with your flames, and then do your rotation. Once your rotation's done, these guys should basically all be dead, and then you'd go back in here and continue on to repeat your rotation. Now, the final rotation we're going to show you is the 7 Elton rotation. It's as little as 5 as up and maximum 7, depending on how far you got to extend the rotation. but that's coming up next. So this rotation right here, you can actually place your tent in this little cave. You just get the right spot. And again, when you are fully buffed, we'll start in this room. So the regular rotation I'll show you first, and then I'll show you the 2 extensions at the same time towards the end of the rotation. So you'd start in this cave, you'd come up here. So the first pull, stick as close to this Elton as you can. You don't want to aggro too many mobs to your left. Then when you get here, stay between in these Turks and this Elton, and you should grab both these Kalkishas. Do not use any abilities, you just slowly make your way up here. And then once you're up here, just keep evading in Awakening, and they shouldn't be able to hit you. When that guy comes down, you would then evade behind them. Lighthouse, Lava Field, E-buff, and do your full rotation. Depending on your clear speed, you should be able to E-buff this mob every time. Oh, sorry. You do your pre-Awakening rotation, then after that. And then once these guys are dead, make sure you grab all the fragments here. So the next part here, you want to TP into your pre-Awakening. You want to stand close to this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You want to stand close to this ledge, and then you're meant to chain lightning just behind this ledge to grab those 2 cars. You want to make sure not to aggro the Elton. I got very lucky not to aggro the Elton that time. I got knocked forward. Obviously, if you do it quickly, you're not going to get CC, so you should be okay. But again, you got to do your rotation on these mobs over here. Make sure you grab all the loot. So now you want to TP and aim for the pillar behind the Elton. So you TP right here so you don't go too far. Evade to the right. Chain lightning everything. Bring them behind the Elton over here. Place your items down and do your rotation again. You will evade behind them. And again, do your pre-Awakening rotation now. And once they're all dead, make sure you grab all the loot, and then again you're going to TP into your pre-Awakening. You'll be landing near this watchtower here. Chain lightning everything, switch to your Awakening, get behind the Vodkan, place your Lighthouse, place your fire on the corner, do your rotations. And then once you kill these guys over here, and then once you've cleared these mobs, you're going to walk over this way. You're going to make sure you aggro the 2 cars that are over there. You're going to wait for that Vodkan to stand up. You'll TP in the corner here. Place your Lighthouse down, your Lava Field, do your rotations. And once your rotations are done, you will then TP into this cave. I had to do a few cuts for some mistakes that I made, so obviously I hadn't overcleared, but normally you'd be overclearing with the current AP. So you'd come over here, you'd water sphere these guys, you water sphere those guys, come up behind this Elton right in this little crack, place the Lighthouse down in the crack, and do your rotation here. So on the lower APs, this is extension number 1 once you get a bit higher. So you won't need to leave that room. On lower APs, you can continue just rotating that room. Once you get a bit higher AP, around 261, you're probably going to have to come over here. And then at 269, you'll also have to come and clear these guys over here. So that's 7 Eltons if you do the full double extended rotation, 6 Eltons if you do it with 1 extended rotation, and 5 Eltons if you just do the regular rotation. And clear those guys over there. Then you're going to TP over here. Just go wait a second to aggro as much as you can. You're not going to use chain lightning. You'll get behind this guy. You'll place your Lighthouse down, which should then aggro the Kalkisha as well. Maximize your pool over here. You can see we've got a nice dense chunk of mobs. And do your rotation. Take these guys out. And then once they're done, you'll TP back in this cave and you will rinse and repeat your rotation. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. That is an in-depth look at all the rooms in Hystria and how to pull and clear them on a wizard. I hope this was helpful and I will catch you guys in the next video.